This video is going to show you how to charge 5 times your current price and have your customers pay it without any hesitation, so stick around. Hey, welcome back to the video. This video is going to show you 3 different things that separate the highest price offerings from the lowest price offerings in the home services market and how they affect your ability to charge a higher price. My name is Dom and I've been in digital marketing for about 10 years, specializing in website copy, video creation, and marketing automation, which is just a fancy way of saying automating messages and reminders. And these are the 3 things that are affecting your ability to charge a premium price. The first one is your website appearance. The second one is your Google reviews. And lastly, we're going to talk about your customer education process. Let's jump into each one individually and I'll show you how each one works. All right, first things first, let's talk about website appearance. Now, I've brought a website up here on the screen. I have no affiliation with this business, but they do a lot of things right with their website. Now, when somebody first comes onto your website, there's going to be basically a 3-second sniff test, is kind of what I call it, when people want to know whether or not they want to take the next step, schedule an appointment, get an estimate, or even contact you. To pass that sniff test, you generally only have to do a couple of things, and they're not particularly hard. Number one, your website just has to look and feel relatively modern. Now, it doesn't have to be cutting edge, but it just can't look and feel like it's from 1995. Your website also can't look homemade, right? If it looks like you made it and it looks like you made it in about 1 day, it's generally not going to pass the sniff test, and your customer is going to see your website and they're just going to move on to the next person because it does not look professional. It does not look like you can command the prices that you're ultimately wanting to charge. And lastly, is your website dynamic? Now, this one here has a nice slideshow here going around. I generally don't like slideshows because they take a while to load, but it does have a clear call to action in this top section, which we call the hero section. Sometimes we'll come into a website and it's really just a digital business card. It's 1 page with a number that just says call us, and the number is not even clickable. For instance, this website has a lot of different actions that I can take, and most of them lead to scheduling a service or getting an estimate for a job, right? And this section up here we're going to talk about next is called the hero section. This is the top section, the first section that everybody is going to see when they hit your website, and it has to do a couple of things really well, again, for people to take the next step and ultimately book an appointment. Now, first off, on the background, you've got this big picture as your background, which either depicts what's going to happen, the person coming to service your home, or it's got happy customers. One of those 2 images is fine. All right, generally, I don't like to have a slideshow back and forth. Pick one and go with it. Next thing here in the copy, we've got a clear benefit of what to expect, right? With this big headline right here that says, "We bring comfort home." Again, this is an HVAC company, so they're talking about comfort inside your home. You can say, if it's a summertime, I would have the website read, "Cool down today," or "Get your home cooler," something to the effect of what the benefit that the customer can expect when they use your service. Underneath, we've got a little sub-headline here, which basically tells them exactly what the company does. It's the benefit, and then it shows the benefit up here, and then it basically shows what the company does and what their services offered are just underneath that, without being too wordy. And then there's a clear button, there's a clear call to action. There's 2 different ways that we can contact this business. We can either call them, and in which case this number is clickable, which means that if I'm on a phone and I'm on a mobile device, I can click and I can call them right away, and it's going to automatically dial the phone. I don't actually have to write this number down and type it in manually. The other one here, if I click to schedule service, it will take me to a form where I can go ahead and I can schedule their service along with where they're located so that I know whether or not I'm in their service area. And again, as we're looking at all of these pages, we also have all of the colors are consistent and they're good and they all work together. We don't have a website with colors that clash or something that's really too crazy visually, right? We have all of our stuff is leading towards the right place. As we come down, the last thing on your website appearance that people like to see and something that's going to make you appear more professional and able to charge higher pricing is going to be having your what they call NAP in your footer. This is your name, address, and phone number. This is also how Google is going to verify your website so you start showing up on the map better. So as you can see, they've got their name, Good Air Conditioning and Heating Company. They've got their phone number. They've also got an email address, and they have their address on here, and also their service area. So So again, people know exactly who they service and how to contact them and where they are located. Have this on the footer of every page on your website. The next thing they do well in their footer is they have all their license numbers here right in the footer. If you're in a regulated trade or you're in a regulated industry, putting your license number there so somebody can go and easily verify you that you're legit, make it easy for them, have it there. I don't think anybody actually looks up your number, but they could if they want to. And then finally, this is a very small detail that not a lot of people are going to look at, but having your copyright date right at the bottom of your website lets people know that your website here is current. You would not believe how many small home service business websites I go to, and the copyright date is like 2016 or 2018. We need to keep our website up to date and active, and the copyright date is a good way of indicating that. And then finally, they do have a privacy policy. Anytime you're collecting info on the website, you have to have a privacy policy on the page showing people what you do with the data. And having your website and your footer up to date also ties into number 2. Having a lot of Google reviews will allow you to charge a premium price. Number 1, because it puts you right up here on the map with everybody else, but it also gives people an idea of the level of service from a lot of other people. We could have somebody on this list with a perfect 5-star rating, but only 6 reviews, and then somebody who might have a 4.6 or a 4.5 rating, but they've got 400 reviews. The person with 400 reviews is most likely going to, 1, get more business, but 2, also charge a higher price because it's a lot more certain that they're going to get a good result delivered. Not to mention that a lot of Google reviews will also put you high in these rankings over here on the side. This is sometimes called the snack pack. And if you've got hundreds of reviews, you're also going to generate a ton of inbound free leads from people searching for services just like yours. And when somebody searches inbound, they're a lot less price sensitive than somebody that you might outreach to and advertise a low price service. Another thing in the reviews bucket that's going to help you increase your pricing power is going to be how you handle bad reviews, right? You're never not going to get a bad review. And I will argue that a bad review handled well is more positive than a generic 5-star review, because it shows that you, the business owner, are responsive, and you are willing to stand behind your work and take responsibility for your mistakes. So we've got somebody here who actually left a bad review about a month ago, and then 4 weeks ago, which is probably within a couple days, they responded to the review personally and offered a solution. Having a couple of these when you get a handful of 1-star reviews, again, will show you that you're responsive and you do stand behind your work and allow you to charge higher prices. And finally, let's talk about probably the biggest lever that you have in being able to charge a premium price in your industry, and that is your customer education process. Now, what do I mean by that? Essentially, when you have a product or service, you want your customer to be able to understand, 1, what exactly it is you're doing, what's involved in the process, but also if you can tie it to a financial benefit to the customer, you'll be able to charge a higher price. When somebody sets a sales appointment on your calendar, what you're going to do is 24 hours before that person is scheduled for their estimate or their sales appointment, you're going to send them a video. And this video is going to accomplish a couple of things. Now, what this video is going to do, it's going to, number one, explain your process, right? How do you do business? How do you perform your core service? What's involved and kind of what's going to happen if they choose to go with your core service, right? People who understand the process better are going to feel a lot less like they're being scammed if they understand what's going on and they know what the steps are going to follow. Secondly, this is also going to tie your result of your service to their finances. For instance, if you have an attic installation company, what you're going to do is tie the result of having a better insulated attic to their energy bill. So saying if you spend this, you could save this on your energy bills, and you'll basically make your money back over an X amount of period of time. My service will pay for itself, and here's why. And finally, you want to show common symptoms and common conditions that are going to make somebody want to use your service. For instance, if you have a mold remediation company, you'd want to show somebody common signs of mold and the types of things that you're going to look for during your inspection and during your estimate. And then also, if you have old job site footage or you have a presentation or something in like a bench test, you can show somebody it may only look like this much mold, but on the back, here's how far it can go up your wall. This is what we're going to check for during our inspection. Essentially, what you're doing is you're bringing a customer behind the scenes into your process and showing them how you do work, and you're also showing your expertise, because when you charge the higher price, they're going to expect to pay the highest price for the best people in the industry. And if you're good, you should deserve to get paid the highest price. And the best part about all of this is that you only have to record this video once, and using some simple software, we can automate the delivery to the customer without any additional work from you. The only thing operationally that you might have to change is that when your sales rep gets to the appointment, have them ask when they get there, ask the customer if they watched the video that we sent. And if not, have the customer watch that video while the salesman is doing the estimate and while they're doing the inspection. If you do this on a consistent basis, you'll start to see that your customers close easier, they don't argue as much on price, and they ask a lot more intelligent questions rather than how much is this going to cost me. Hey, if you liked the video and you want to chat with either myself or one of my business partners on how to grow your home service business, I'm going to put a link right in the description down below where you can schedule a time to chat. What I'm also going to do is I'm also going to put some videos up here in the corners on more ways to grow your small home service business. I'll see you in either the videos or on a consultation.